Hello everybody and welcome back to BaconCraft. I am Hodag and this is episode 22 of BaconCraft. Dang. Okay, so basically here's what we're going to do today. I got a project that I've never done before, and it's a little bit strange because we have somebody on the server here who does dyes, but I've never messed with trying to get all the different flowers and all the different things. Even though we built our cactus farm recently, it's we need some other things. We need other colors, we need other things, and every time I want to go and find all the flowers, it just takes hours. So we're going to build ourselves like a dye factory today. And the best place to do that is here in the flower forest, which is just outside of our spawn little cabin that we have over there. It's our little safe cabin. So we need to first find a decent place to put this thing. And we need a flat place, and I'm not really a fan of changing the landscape. Like I don't want to just like flatten this whole area here, because this is a kind of a cool little landscape, you know. I don't want to mess that up. So I don't want to put it in the middle of the lake. I thought maybe I could put it like in a mountain. Maybe I can like tunnel down in the mountain and put it somewhere. And it has to be within the flower forest boundary. Whoa, that's a little glitchy over there. Reload, please. Anyway, it could be across here, because that's still the flower forest. There might be someplace over here. This looks like I could kind of tunnel into the mountain over here and find a good spot for it. Let's get up top here and see if there's any kind of a good view of a good place we can put this, basically. There's tons of flowers in the flower forest, you guys. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't think that center island's going to be good for anything. And even here where it's flat, that's not really a big space to build something. How far does this thing go over? This is insane. Flower forests, I feel like, are very rare. And I have almost everything to build it. I've already planned it out in a testing world, which I'll show you guys in a little while. Oh, it doesn't go that way. But I am missing sunflower plants. Okay, we're out of the forest now. Let's get back in. And yeah, forest hills, flower forest, good. Okay, yeah, I need to find some sunflowers. We already got all the other tall plants. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, imagine this, you guys. You're over by the cabin over here. You can kind of go across this little like expanse of land that I didn't really like and I didn't want to build on. And then you come this way, you go through a tunnel and come out down here, and in this little space down here is where the flower factory is. Our dye shop thing. It's not going to be a shop, but it's going to produce all the flowers, you guys. Automatically. Okay, this has got to be it. This is the best space. And I think I'm going to check to see if it's all flower forest in the middle here. Because if it is, that's our spot. That's where we're going to build this thing, you guys. I'm going to go check that. I'll be back. Okay, that little circle and even like further is definitely flower forest, so we're good. So the cabin is over that way. You can cross this little pond, I guess, here. And then I didn't want to build it in any of the space, you know, so there's the cabin. You can go across the pond. We're going to go this way, and the floor of that kind of trench over there is 64, which I think is where we are now. Yeah, 64. So I'm thinking we kind of go in this way. It's going to be a little tunnel, it curves to the left, and it's going to come out straight over inside of that little area. And then, oh, I got it, you guys. I got a plan. It looks cool in my head. I'm going to lay out a little bit and show you guys what it's going to look like. Hold on. All right, you guys, imagination time before it gets dark out here. But basically, you come from that direction, and I'm probably going to make a little nice path to kind of get over here through the flower forest, and then we're going to have a very natural looking kind of tunnel here, primarily made out of, like, you know, spruce logs. And but when I stack them up, I'm going to stack them up like they actually should be stacked up and not like a derpy derp. But it'll be a very nice tunnel that's going to be natural. It's going to have flowers growing in it even. I'm going to put some flowers in there. And then might even have some water. Water's natural, that's good. So we're going to go straight through. It's going to curve to the left, and it's going to be much more open than this, obviously. And then it's going to open up into this kind of just giant place right here. I'll probably fill in the ground there so it's nice and even. But we have these roses over here already, but what I'm thinking is you're going to have something like the taller plants that basically you can put a dispenser right here with the tall plant in front of it, and then you're just going to be able to flick a lever, and dispenser's going to dispense bone meal, and you're just going to stand here and pick up stacks and stacks of rose bush if you want. And then like maybe over in this corner or something, you're going to have the lilacs, which I didn't bring with me, but they are, was there any around here? No, maybe not. But they're like a more kind of purple blue kind of deal. And then you're going to have a sunflower, maybe over in this corner, and it's going to have like a little shrine built around it to make it look really beautiful. And then over in this section, I need to take down these trees, but we're going to have a shifting floor, automatic bone dispensing thing for seeds, for and everything that grows when I put bone meal in the ground. So it's going to be these Azure Blasts, I think they're called. What are they called? They're called Allium. Never mind. Completely wrong. Azure Blasts are the other ones. I think they're these white ones. Let's see if I'm, again, wrong. Because there you go. Azure Bluet, whatever that means. But we can get magenta dye from these. And we can get the light gray dye from those. And then we have all these tulips around here. And tulips is one thing I didn't think of. And I'm not really sure how I can automatically do those. I might have to do some research. But I'm going to keep it very natural looking in here. In fact, some of these things, like the size of these mountain cliffs, I'm going to try to make a little bit nicer. But let me go ahead, start building some of this tunnel, see if I can get it looking pretty. I got to bring over more resources. I got to do a bunch of bits and bobs, as they say in the UK. And then we'll be back, and we're going to get this thing moving. And I need to be careful of the back here. This is dangerous. I might need to take care of that. Guys, my efficiency 5 diamond axe just peels through pumpkins. Watch this. Instant harvest, but that's not why we're here. Look it! I found them! Sunflowers. This is not as exciting as I thought. Alright, you guys, I got the tools all repaired up, and we can't have a tunnel without a path kind of, you know, I gotta clear some space here. So let's turn on some funky tunes, and let's get to clearing this tunnel, you guys. Alright, the funky tunes are done, you guys. The tunnel is made, and I put in the support structures here. You guys see that there's extra spruce logs every once in a while. There's also some sea lanterns, which are going to be completely covered up by these leaves, because as you can see, I've started a little bit of the designing so that you guys can kind of get an idea of what's in my head. Basically, you got these trees on the side. They're not really support beams as much as they are supposed to look like that they're actual trees. And this is just going to be like an overgrown path kind of deal, with different layers on the ceiling. The ceiling has sea lanterns above it, so there's light coming from the top. Each one of these little tiny sections between the logs is going to be kind of like its own little nature reserve. I've thrown in some vines, some flowers, grass, you know, all the nice looking things in nature. Over here I kind of made out a second one so that you guys can see what I got. Even a little boat in my little man-made little lake, river here, whatever it is. And I threw a bunch of flowers and stuff. The vines are still growing even. And that's what this whole tunnel is going to look like, more or less. I got to do a couple more little sections here. I might make some sections really big and some sections just like 1 or 2 flowers, because you know why? Because I've already spent a lot of time in this tunnel, and this tunnel is only the thing that gets us to the actual big project that we're working on. So why don't we, I'm going to find a space over here after I chop down these trees because they're in the way, and I'm going to get going into the farm that we're actually going to be using. And I got to look out for this little, man, I'm gonna have to block this off, I think, or maybe I should explore it. Either way, to block that off, knock down these trees, find a space where we're actually going to build the big stuff, and I'll be right back to show you what's going on with that. Alright, you guys, I think I've laid down the first kind of groundwork pieces. Come running through here. I plugged up all of these tunnels over here, and I kind of lit them up too so we don't have to hear zombie noises. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to make this safe eventually, but we are now looking at our like 12 by 12 area that is going to be our automatic flower growing harvesting area. So what happens is, underneath this very centerpiece is a dispenser, which is going to have a bunch of bone meal in it, and that's going to be triggered and it's gonna bone meal this entire area right here with a whole bunch of flowers and grass and all that stuff. Then pistons on this side in this position right here are going to push the entire floor across, and that's going to harvest everything. Then the dispenser is going to fire again, regrow everything. Pistons on this side are going to push the entire floor back that way. So dispenser, pistons, dispenser, pistons, dispenser, pistons. And if I can basically make that as fast as possible, then we will be getting as much as we can possibly get out of this entire farm here. So, oop, there's that tunnel. Anyway, so let me go ahead. I'm going to throw these pistons in. The dispenser's already in. All we got to do for that is throw in some dirt on top of it. There we go. Actually, I'm going to leave that there so I can actually figure out where that dispenser is again. And then I'm going to have to jump down below, hollow out this whole thing, and get to the redstone. So once I got the pistons in, and I can figure out that we got some space to redstone, then I'll be back, and we'll be doing it. And the rains hath descended upon the Minecraft. This is bad. But we're going to go underneath the ground, you guys. I've hollowed out the space underneath our field here. And I've set up some of the circuitry, but I'm going to go through the whole thing in just a second. I'm going to build most of it with you guys here. But there's the dispenser in the middle of the field, and basically what we need to do is we need to build one of those I almost said etho clocks. Nope, not like that. Basically, as two hoppers going into each other, you got to put a comparator on each side like that and like this to read what's in them. Then you have a block coming out of that. So I want to stick with my cool little funky blocks that I was using. Here we go. So block coming out of that, redstone dust next to that, and then we're going to need some sticky pistons. If I don't have that, I'll go get them later. But again, a block and then some redstone. And do I have... No, I don't have sticky pistons, of course. Anyway, 2 sticky pistons facing inwards toward each other, and then a redstone block basically right there. And then once we're done with that, bloop, I'm going to take that out of there right now, because if I put it in there right now, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. But anyway, we got a repeater here. Then I'm kind of looking at my template over on my other computer right now, because I built this in testing world and it got a little complex, you guys. So here we go. We're going to do this, and basically redstone's going to go everywhere else, except we need a repeater going into that, a repeater going into that, and more redstone here. So basically what this does is this is going to be 2 sticky pistons shifting a redstone block between here and here. And I needed something, sorry for if you hear the thunder, or if you hear my neighbors, they're really loud right now. My apologies, but there's not too much I can do about that. Hey neighbors, if you're listening. And what we're going to do here is basically every time the redstone block shifts to this place right here, it's going to send a pulse forwards, but not that way. It's going to send a pulse forwards and knock that out. Forwards and to the right, okay? So forwards is going to trigger the dispenser. It's going to fire, and it's going to replant our stuff upstairs. Then we're going to have a delay, I think, going over here. Yep, here's our delay. And this is a monostable circuit right here, so it's going to send a 1-tick pulse through to fire our pistons here and shift our floor over, but just after the whole floor gets planted up above, so we get all the flowers, floor shifts, knocks them down. Then just at that moment, the redstone block will shift back, and again it fires the dispenser, and a little bit of delay here, same kind of circuit on this side, and it fires these pistons here. So if everything works out correctly, it should all work. And then all I have to do after that is just install a switch so we can turn this off when we don't want it to run. And we have to install something so we can insert the bone meal into this thing, but that's not too hard, just a couple hoppers. And that's about it. Let me go get the redstone block. I'm going to set up a little chest on the outside, probably over here in the front, so that you can put bone meal in. And maybe put a switch in, which was just really simple. You're just running a redstone line over to lock one of these hoppers, basically. And that's going to make it so that the etho clock turns off and the whole thing shuts down. Then when I want to turn it back on, hit the switch way over there, and it'll turn off my locked hoppers, and they'll be free, and all the stuff will be good. Okay, it's all gonna be. Ooh, it's scary up here. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got the switch installed on the left here. We got our funky little chest, putting the bone meal in right now. If you go downstairs, you can see that underneath the floor, because when the floor shifted, I was seeing straight through into the redstone. I didn't want to do that, so I put some stone bricks. I might replace that with dirt, though. It looks more natural. I have a line running right here. That's from the switch. That locks our hoppers over here, like I said it was going to. And everything else is working well, except one thing. I'll show you guys here. I don't know why Because when I put bone meal over here, I was getting these things, and I was getting grass, and I was getting those azure bluets things. But now, this thing's working, but here's what happens. I'm only getting pink, white tulips, and grass. There's not any of the other things that give us magenta. Ooh, that was a good one. But basically, I don't know. I mean, it works, but that's why I wanted the other stuff. I don't know what to do, you guys. I mean, this is cool. We could keep this, and now we got all of our tulips, kind of. But I would really like to also have... Maybe I need to build more than one. Maybe I need to build another one. And maybe it's like space certain, like space specific. So maybe this is just the tulip part. And then if I did another one over here, it would be the other one. But that kind of messes up our whole plan. Maybe I could build one like in here. Hollow this out a bit more. And then I could still have like my rose things like over here, over here, over here, maybe up here. I'm going to go plant some bone meal randomly and let you know what happens in a little bit. Well, you guys, after a short amount of testing, I realized that over here all I'm going to get is these red poppies and a bunch of grass, which is no good, even though that would be the ideal spot for another one of those farms. Over here, if I kind of cleared this out, I think I can get some of these allium plants, which would give us a magenta. And right around here I could probably get the orange tulips and stuff as well. I don't need red. Orange and magenta would be pretty sweet. And the light gray stuff I think I already have from these tulips. Or maybe I need the azure blast. Bluet, whatever it is. I'm kind of bummed out though, you guys. And it's actually it's 8 o'clock right now. The night before I'm supposed to be uploading all of this. So I'm kind of running out of time, which isn't good, and I need to get this out. So what I think I'm going to do to end this episode, I don't even know. I'm going to set up these stations. I'm going to set up a couple of these stations right here with the 4 larger plants, and then I'll show you how those go, and then I think I might finish our tunnel here, and that's probably going to be it. I'm going to have to figure out the rest of these in the next episode, I think. Because I just ran out of time, and I'm kind of drained right now. I'm not feeling so good. I don't know if you guys can tell. But, I don't know. Let's finish this. This is so sad. Finish this hallway here. I'm going to set up some of these in just a second. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll be out. Alright, you guys, really quick. How you build one of these kind of dispenser, whatever mabobbers. I don't know what we're going to call them. But basically, we're going to say our dispenser is going to go right here. And that means that right behind it has to be this line here, like this. Okay, here's what we need. We need some redstone. We need a redstone repeater going in the back of that. We're going to need 3 redstone like this. Then we will need to hollow out here. And to hollow out here. And for added measures, I'm going to hollow that out. Because I want to be able to turn this thing off because it gets a little bit crazy otherwise. So we need a redstone torch, redstone torch. I don't need that middle part hollowed out, so we're going to put that back just to keep things tidy. But then I do need a block above that, a block above that. And this is a rapid pulser, you guys. That means it just kind of keeps on clicking. And we're going to do this. Good. That's keeping off like that. In fact, I think I can just destroy that one. Okay. And put some redstone, or put some light in there, and then I can fill up this whole thing, because right now, if this had bone meal inside, you can see it's all going like that. And that's about it. If I plant this in front of it, look at all the stuff I get. So I'm going to take my bone meal out, because I don't want to waste it right now, and I don't need any more red, really. But what you can do in order to turn this thing off is... all I need to do really is hook up a switch, and there you go. You just kind of lock up the circuit like that. So I can put my redstone back in there, and this thing can be working for peonies. You just stand here and you get all the peonies. It can work for lilac. All of the lilacs. And it can work for sunflowers. There they are. Uh-oh. Did I run out of bone meal? Yep, I ran out of bone meal. But it works for sunflowers as well, you guys. So you can kind of set up 4 of those stations around here, hit a little switch, decorate it a little bit. I'm not going to decorate it right now because I'm not sure exactly where we're going to be putting these ones. And that's getting annoying. But I'm going to set up 4 of those stations. And just out of curiosity, we get dandelion yellow from that. We get... There's our magenta dye. Maybe we don't need those other ones. That's red. And peony gives us pink dye. Well, then we don't need our pink tulips, do we? We need orange tulips and light gray azure bluette, or whatever those are. And so I think up here actually, no, up there we got that. But I was just in here messing around in the tunnel, and I might make part of this tunnel a small group of these, because I was planting right here, and it looks like, so I'll put some light in here, it looks like in this space right here we might be able to get azure bluets, and we might also get orange dandelions, or orange tulips. We also get red tulips, but that's okay. We can just kind of throw those out because we aren't going to need those. But that gives us the rest of the things that we need, I think. I don't think there's anything else, any other flowers that we won't have the dye for then. So that's, I think, how we're going to possibly solve our situation here. The rest of this hallway might get decorated in certain ways where we can kind of turn these into small little farms. And that way we can still have our nice, beautiful kind of place here. And let me go and do some stuff and come back. We'll see what else we can really finish in this episode, you guys. But it is getting down there. Alright, so I was super bummed, you guys. But then I learned that some of the flowers that we had, which one was it? Was it the white tulip actually gives you light gray dye. So we don't need the azure bluette thing that I still can't pronounce. We don't actually need that because it gives us the exact same number of, or the exact same dye, which means the only one we were missing is still the orange, which means maybe that there, okay, which means now that I set up this one, check it out, we have every one that we need, you guys. And this one also produces those two, the purple ones. Okay, this, whoa. Wait, this one produces all of them. Like, not the white tulips and pink tulips, but those are in the other one, so... yes. So we got them all now. Alright. Awesome. I didn't even know until right now, you guys. So this farm produces just about all of the different flowers. The other farm over here produces the white tulip and the pink tulips. Our little miniature farms that we're going to make with rose bushes or whatever. I'm not holding right now, but the rose bushes and the other ones, those produce all the other kinds of dyes that we need. The only one that we can't get is the light blue dye from orchids, which only grow in swamps, so I couldn't even make it here if I wanted to. So we'll have to figure out some other way to get that. But guys, yeah, it's a little bit more positive note than it was earlier. And this place is really coming along. You guys can see that I've kind of worked more on the hallway. It's very simple right here. This one over here I'm going to join together with this long one on this side. I've done this one right here, kind of. And this one over here I'm going to do, maybe add it to this one. I don't know. But you know what? This is good. I was a little bit sad a little while ago. And now I'm a little bit happier. See, now I can walk through my whole... nope, can't walk very good. But I can get through here. And this is good, you guys. I'm liking it. So, we got a couple things to do next episode. We're going to finish up all of these things here. We're going to finish up the decorations there. We're going to do a few things around here to make it completely safe inside of here once you actually come into the dye place. We got to fix these little places here. And we might come up with some storage or something, maybe for some of these flowers here, so that... and there's something else in the nether that I also want to get to, but I'm not going to tell you guys this time because I'll leave a little bit of mystery for you. Ooh. But anyway, you guys, we are out of time. I can't spend any more time on this episode because if I don't stop now, I'm not going to get it edited. I'm not going to get it out by tomorrow morning, and you guys are going to be all angry with me and stuff. So we got to end it right here. On behalf of everybody, you guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. Go ahead, if you liked the episode, click subscribe, click the like button, you know, click all the comments. That was one of them. The Twitter, that's the other one. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's so late right now. But anyway, on behalf of all the hodags out there that like all the flowers and all the dyes and all the pretty things in the world, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day, you guys.